Imagine boarding a spacecraft, bidding farewell to Earth and setting off on a journey that could last for years. This is the reality of long-duration space travel, a concept that's no longer limited to the realms of imagination, but is now a significant focus in the field of space exploration. Missions to Mars, the outer planets, and even beyond our solar system are not just possibilities, but inevitabilities. But these grand journeys come with their own unique set of challenges. But what about the mind? What happens to a human psyche far from the familiarity and comfort of Earth? As we journey deeper into space, the confines of a spacecraft become the entirety of an astronaut's world for years at a time. The isolation, the distance from loved ones, the continual stress of living in a hostile environment. All these factors can take a toll on an astronaut's mental health. And yet the human mind is not a machine that can be tuned and adjusted. It is a complex, delicate, and incredibly resilient system capable of adapting to the most extraordinary circumstances. But even it has its limits. In the following scenes, we'll delve into the psychological journey of long-duration space travel. We'll explore the mental challenges astronauts face, the training they undergo to prepare for these challenges, and the support systems in place to help them cope. In the vast expanse of space, the human mind becomes the ultimate frontier. Space is vast, quiet, and incredibly lonely. Imagine being confined in a small space with the same faces, the same routine, and the same food, day in, day out. The stars and galaxies may be beautiful, but they're also distant and cold. This is the reality of long-duration space travel, where the human mind is tested to its limits by isolation and confinement. Now you might wonder, what happens to the mind in such extreme conditions? Well, it's not unlike being stranded on a deserted island, only your island is hurtling through the infinite expanse of space at thousands of kilometers per hour. It craves change, interaction, and variety. Deprivation of these can lead to a range of psychological issues from mild unease to severe mental health disorders like anxiety and depression. Astronauts, the pioneers of the cosmos, are not immune to these challenges. Despite their rigorous training, the isolation and monotony of space can take a toll on their mental well-being. A compromised mental state can impair an astronaut's judgment, performance, and ultimately, the success of the mission. The confinement of a spacecraft adds another layer of complexity. It's like living and working in the same small room with the same people for months on end. So, what can be done to mitigate these psychological challenges? Space agencies around the world recognize the importance of mental health and have implemented measures to help astronauts cope with the unique stresses of space travel. So, how do space agencies prepare astronauts for this psychological trial? Psychological training for astronauts is as crucial as physical training. Let's dive into the specifics of this training. One of the key methods used is simulation training. This is not your average video game simulation, but a meticulously crafted mock-up of the space mission. Astronauts spend countless hours in these simulations, which are designed to mimic the harsh conditions of space as closely as possible. The goal? To prepare their minds for the isolation and confinement of space, and to train them to respond effectively in high-stress situations. The success of a mission often hinges on the crew's ability to work together seamlessly, especially when faced with unforeseen challenges. The crew becomes a tight-knit unit, ready to face the rigors of space together. Astronauts also undergo counseling sessions, both individually and as a group. Through these counseling sessions, astronauts are taught to recognize signs of psychological distress in themselves and their crewmates, and to take proactive steps to address these issues. One interesting aspect of astronaut training is the use of wilderness survival courses. These courses are not just about surviving in the wild, but also about building resilience, teamwork, and leadership skills, qualities that are extremely valuable in the unforgiving environment of space. The wilderness serves as a powerful metaphor for space. Both are hostile, unpredictable environments where survival depends on effective teamwork and sound decision-making. Another method used is sensory deprivation training. Astronauts are placed in isolation tanks, where they float in salt water at body temperature in complete silence and darkness. This simulates the sensory deprivation experienced in space and helps astronauts acclimate to the feelings of isolation and confinement they will face during their mission. It's important to remember that while these training methods are incredibly effective, they are not foolproof. There will always be an element of unpredictability in space travel, and part of an astronaut's training is learning to adapt and respond to these unforeseen challenges. They undergo rigorous psychological training to prepare themselves for their journey, knowing full well the challenges they may face. But even with all this training, unexpected circumstances can arise. Space is unpredictable, and so is the human mind. And sometimes the mind can throw curveballs that even the most rigorous training can't anticipate. To illustrate this, let's delve into some real-life instances where astronauts faced unforeseen psychological challenges during their missions. Take the story of Apollo 7 astronaut Wally Schirra, for instance. He developed a cold during his 11-day mission, which may seem trivial here on Earth. But in the weightless environment of space, the congestion was not only uncomfortable but also dangerous. The irritability and tension between Schirra and mission control, exacerbated by his physical discomfort, eventually led to what's now known as the Apollo 7 mutiny. Another example is the case of Heidemarie Stephanie Shin Piper, a mission specialist on the Space Shuttle Endeavour. During a spacewalk, she lost a tool bag worth around $100,000. The incident left her frustrated and embarrassed, emotions that are amplified in the high-stakes environment of space. It's a stark reminder that even the most diligent astronauts can make mistakes, and such errors can lead to strong emotional reactions. And let's not forget about the Mars 500 experiment, a simulated Mars mission conducted here on Earth. One of the crew members experienced a sleep disorder, which disrupted the team's schedule and dynamics. This incident highlighted the potential impact of sleep disruptions on long-duration space missions. A rather unique challenge was faced by astronaut Chris Hadfield when he temporarily lost his vision during a spacewalk. The anti-fog solution used on his helmet had gotten into his eyes, blinding him temporarily. This incident shed light on how unexpected situations can lead to severe psychological stress. These are just a few examples of the unpredictable challenges that can arise in space. Each of these incidents had psychological implications, affecting not just the individual astronaut but also the team dynamics and the overall mission. The unpredictable nature of space travel, coupled with the inherent unpredictability of the human mind, makes psychological support an essential part of any space mission. These instances highlight the need for ongoing psychological support during the mission. Continual psychological support during the mission is critical. Space agencies around the globe have established robust systems to provide psychological support during missions, ensuring that the mental well-being of these brave explorers is taken care of, just as much as their physical health. One of the significant ways this is achieved is through regular communication with psychologists back on Earth. Astronauts are also encouraged to engage in recreational activities that can help them unwind and relax. These activities not only provide a much-needed distraction from the demanding work schedule, but also help to maintain a sense of normalcy in an environment that is anything but normal. The camaraderie among crew members plays a significant role in maintaining psychological well-being. Astronauts are trained to look out for each other, recognizing signs of stress or distress in their colleagues and providing support when needed. This sense of communal responsibility and shared experience can be a powerful antidote to feelings of isolation or loneliness. From virtual reality technology that can simulate familiar Earth environments to artificial intelligence systems capable of providing real-time mental health monitoring and support, the future of in-mission psychological care looks promising. By providing continual psychological support, space agencies aim to ensure that astronauts can navigate this journey successfully, maintaining their mental health and well-being throughout the mission. But what happens when the mission ends? Does the psychological journey end there? Returning to Earth after a long-duration space mission can be a challenging transition. Imagine this. You've been living in a tin can, floating in the vast expanse of space, surrounded by nothing but the deep, dark void. You've been away from Earth, away from the familiar hum of life as we know it. And suddenly, you're expected to pick up where you left off. The psychological effects of long-duration space missions don't just vanish the moment our brave astronauts set foot on Earth. They can linger sometimes for months or even years. It's not uncommon for these space travelers to experience readjustment issues. Now they have to relearn how to live in a world governed by gravity. Some astronauts report feeling a sense of loss or depression upon their return. They've been part of something so grand, so awe-inspiring, and coming back to the mundane realities of life on Earth can feel like a letdown. As we stand on the brink of exploring further into the cosmos, the psychological journey of long-duration space travel will continue to be a significant area of study. As we dare to dream bigger, to reach further, and to explore the vast expanse of space, we must also consider the mental toll this adventure may take on us, the intrepid explorers. But the good news is that our astronauts are not left to deal with these issues on their own. The psychological journey of long-duration space travel is intricate and continues even after the mission ends. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, to our ability to adapt and overcome. And it's a crucial part of our ongoing exploration of the great beyond. They undergo a series of debriefings, not just to gather scientific data, but also to address any psychological issues they might be facing. They have access to therapists and psychologists who specialize in space psychology and understand the unique challenges these space explorers face. It's important to note that every astronaut's experience is unique. Some may find the transition back to Earth relatively smooth, while others may struggle. But the key point is that they are not alone. They have a team of professionals, and often their fellow astronauts supporting them every step of the way. The future of long-duration space travel is not only about building faster rockets or creating more efficient life support systems. It's also about understanding how the human mind copes with isolation, confinement, and the sheer distance from home. Thank you for joining Time Pilgrimage on this adventure. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating time and space-related content.